So, although the Spoint bug is native to North America, North American scientists are really lazy when it comes to stuff like this. So we have a Russian expert here who has nothing better to do with his life than watch these things mate. Let's go to him. So, what can you tell us about the Spoint bug?
They are very good at mating.
Mating. Okay, and how exactly do they mate?
So, I've been watching them for 40 years of my life.
Look at the camera, please.
Fine. So what they do is they tunnel very deeply into the ground, and then they release their mating call, which is Spoint. It is very hard for the human ear to hear, and then they fly out of the ground, and in the air they touch the ends of their bodies together. They are called pubuses, and on contact, these pubuses connect to each other, creating an egg.
Now, I understand that you brought an egg with you today. Is that true?
Yes.
All right, so we'll cut to that later. But so what is there anything more to tell us about the mating habits of the Spoint bug?
Not much.
All right, what about their diets? What do they eat? I mean, I didn't notice a mouth, so how exactly could it eat?
They absorb nutrients from the ground that they tunnel through.
All right, now that is very fascinating. That is very fascinating indeed. Thank you very much. So, is that the egg?
Yes.
Now, I understand that it is extremely heavy despite being so small.
Yes.
How heavy would you say this is?
This particular one is quite heavy.
Do you have an exact number in pounds?
This one is about 75.
75, okay. So that is, I understand, on the higher end of average, if not
Yes.
above average.
Yes. Average is about 50 to 60.
Alright, so how long does it generally take for these eggs to hatch?
3 weeks.
3 weeks? And how old is this egg?
It's just about 3 weeks.
Okay, so if we're lucky, we may be seeing this thing hatch in the near future. Am I correct in thinking that?
Yes.
Alright, well, let's all cross our fingers and... Whoa! Did that just hatch?
Yes.
That's wild! I just experienced a miracle of life. Now, how often in your line of work do you get to experience something like that?
This is my first time.
Really? Well, you're acting surprisingly calm.
It's so beautiful.
It's okay. It's okay, just let it out. It's alright, we're here for you. We're here. We're here for you. Now, as you might imagine, it is nearly impossible, given today's technology, to film an actual Spoint bug while it is tunneling, so instead, we're going to show you an artist's rendering of what it may look like. Unfortunately, the specimen that hatched here earlier today had to be released back into the wild, as we want to ensure that this species does not go endangered or possibly even extinct. Luckily, we had the forethought to bring in a second specimen, so let's go to that now. I understand that this is a live Spoint bug.
That it is.
Now, isn't it dangerous to be holding one of these?
No, it's fine. We removed its explosive gland.
Explosive gland? Well, what's that for?
Well, whenever it feels threatened or gets too old, it explodes.
I see. So would it just explode where all the other ones are?
Now, you see, usually they migrate down to Florida, and that's the main reason why they have so many sinkholes, because they explode underground.
It's interesting. I did not know that. But you said migrated, which implies that they don't live there all the time. So where do they mainly live?
Primarily, they live in California, and the amount of motion they have underground causes all the earthquakes.
I see. Now, I also understand that this secretes acid from its face.
That it does.
So I'm assuming you also had that gland removed.
No, I did not.
Okay, I guess we're not going to be touching it on the face then. So, what advantage does the acid give it?
Well, the acid allows it to dig through essentially everything.
You said essentially, so is there anything that it can't?
It can't break through mushrooms.
Why not?
Because the mushrooms secrete an enzyme that counteracts with the acid. And what a lot of people don't realize is that mushrooms aren't just above ground. The majority of it is actually underground.
So if a large part of it's underground and it secretes enzymes that counteract the acid, then that sounds like it could pose a serious threat to the bug.
It does, and it gets tangled up in what's underground, and it can no longer move, so it feels threatened.
At which point it would explode.
Correct.
So wouldn't that take out the mushroom?
You'd think that, but there's just so much underground that that the explosion can't take out everything that's underground.
Right, and I understand mushrooms grow extremely fast.
That they do.
So, alright, this has been a very interesting experience. So, do you mind if I hold it?
That's fine with me.
Alright. Let's see. Oh, this isn't so bad. It's actually pretty nice. Whoa! Whoa! It's getting wild! Whoa! Alright, so here we are in our studio in Massachusetts, but I've heard from the expert that there are a large number of spoint bugs in California this time of year for mating. So let's head over to California and see what we can find there. Alright, so here we are in California, and what's that? Whoa, there's an earthquake! Whoa, there are a lot of them here! Whoa! Spoint, 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 spoint.